Alrighty, lads. So, uh, today is going to be rather informal, just sort of chilling. Um, Not really a tutorial. I might just like talk while I'm working and just very briefly explain what I'm doing. Um, just sort of like noting and chilling, you know. Uh, I know Arendelle already has like fucking note and chill shit, so I don't want to exactly use that name, but I'll find something. Um, this is a lot less tiresome to produce because I don't have to like do anything. Just do shit. Yeah, so we're doing this thing called Truchet tiling. Um, I attempted to make a video about this a while back because I saw something somebody did with triangular tiles that looked pretty cool. I was like, hey, I can do that. I'm gonna do that. And then I just recorded myself doing it, and it looked good, but I don't have the recording anymore, so you kind of gotta work with that. Anyways, um, this is really fun because these sorts of things are, well, they're tiles, right? Like you can sort of see like how this comes together, and they're tiled together in a way like these are seamless, regardless of rotation. So they make these like pseudo-random patterns. Usually they're over a square grid. Sometimes they aren't. Um, yeah, I was making one of these over like a triangular grid. Uh, yeah. Anyways, I want to do like a hexagonal one, sort of like this, but like sort of not. So yeah, so we got Blender. We're gonna do that there. Cause why the hell not? So I don't even know what I want to make. I just know where I want to start. So I'm just gonna make a flat plane. Go into cycles because it's faster at computing materials. And assign our material. Yeehaw, motherfuckers. Alright, now I need to start creating a grid. So, first, if we want to make a grid, we need to first make a shape. So there's a little bit of math. Not really much, though. We'll see where this is going. So I'm just going to make like a general shape function. And I'm just going to have this be like an input for the sides. And we want a hexagon, so we want to do that. And really, we want... shit. Pi over 6. There you go. Then cosine. And then we're going to take a length. And then divide that by the cosine. Oh, never mind. Sorry, multiply it by the cosine. And boom, hexagon. Hexagoner. Alright. Yeah, so a while back I was watching videos and I discovered I think like I'm just so bad at explaining stuff. Yeah, I could literally just talk over something and let you guys watch what I'm doing, and it would probably be just as constructive. just like some mild explaining. It would, yeah, it would be just as constructive as if I tried to like actually make a full tutorial. So I'll be doing that, just sort of talking. Maybe there'll just be awkward silence. Who knows? I'm gonna just call this. I don't know what to call this. Like fucking length. Let me add a question mark. Yeah, so this is a rather simple, like, generalized approach for, like, pretty much every shape you can imagine. Provided it has, like, sides that are even, or whole numbers. Let's do that. Shit. Yeah, we could just, let's floor this motherfucker. That's kind of unnecessary because I don't think we'll ever have any trouble with that, but just redundancy always helps. Alright. So I want to do like a sort of combined grid. Actually, yeah, I'll just do round. I forgot floating point errors are a thing. There we go. So I'm gonna do like a combined triangle grid, I think. Combined triangular and hexagonal grid. I think that'll be fun. So let's add, so set a modulo node. What the fuck? Modulo. Actually, you know, I'm gonna use the generated chords. Oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't know you could do that. Hey, you know, accidents are sometimes pretty good. Alright, let's see, what the hell is going on? Actually, UV is probably better. We don't want to have to deal with negative numbers because it screws with the modulo. So I'm just doing this. And then I can take, like, I could scale this up. And then I'll obviously, like, subtract. Oh, we don't want the last one there. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Then we can add like a... Actually, we should do this with math nodes. Just do it like a greater than some shit. Wait, you want these ends to touch. So I think what we'll actually have to do is just take a cosine of this and then just divide the entire thing by that cosine. That way, yeah. That way these sides are touching. Like homies, bro. That was kind of a weird sentence. Oh. Now we gotta get them to touch over there. That's right, we like touching here. Please don't actually take that out of context. We aren't perverts. Let's do skirt 3 over 2. What the fuck? Oh. There we go. Fun. Now we need to offset these a little bit. What do we want to do? So let's say I'm just gonna put this at an even number, and then if I'm gonna modulate I'm going to do modulo this times 2 minus this, and then I'm going to use greater than 0 to add a little bit to this thing with jigger, so we can, this is like a mask. Oops. What the fuck? Alright, that works as well. So like this will isolate all the rows that we want to just shift over a little bit. So if I add, actually subtract, let's keep it like that. And then I'm going to multiply this by some number and then add in a scaling thing. Ooh, now we need to do another modulo. What do you know? And actually, this subtract should be before that. Oh, my bad. All right, that works. Everything is touching. Fantastic. All right, and theoretically, so this will be like our mask, but we really want, like, this is what we're interested in for our tiling shit. Because yeah, this is gonna determine what goes on here. Oops. Alright, so we got like a grid thing going. I think next it would be good to determine what we want this to look like. I think, personally, we should try to do something simple, or at least simple-ish. I was thinking. We could, I think what we're going to do for these hexagon ones is we can just cross over a bunch of shit. So in order to do that, let's just add in, oops. Let's just make a bunch of lines that like intersect each side. So there'll be some going over there, some going over there, some going over there, and obviously we're gonna have some stuff that like goes over itself. Like one's gonna be on top, one's gonna be in the middle, one's gonna be on the bottom. Yeah, that seems like the best way to do it, and then we can like loop shit around for these triangular ones. That might be pretty fun. So let's get started on that. So let's use separate XYZ. Yeah. And oops. Where is the ping pong? There it is. I'm gonna set this to 1 and then just multiply this by a lot. Let's do 25 because, you know, why the fuck not? And then you're gonna use this greater than like 0.2 maybe. Yeah, I mean that seems good to me. So that's one of them. Let's also like sort of clamp it off at a certain point. So I'm gonna take an absolute value. Actually, this will be the absolute. Oops. Absolute. I'll say this will. We can do another greater than. I think 0.25. Let's multiply this by that so that we can see it. Oops, no, we don't want to do that. Huh. I think less than might actually, yeah, that's it. Then we can multiply that by, oops. Ping pong is such a neat function. Sweet, so that's like one thing done. Cool. So let's see, yeah, that's like 6 on each side. Yeah, I think we're good. So let's duplicate this and we're gonna have to rotate it. Oh, we don't need that. Okay. So I'm gonna use a vector rotate. There we go. And angle 60. Let's see this. Oops. Yeehaw. And then duplicate this whole thing, and then the next one will be 120. And there we go. And then we can do mix RGB here. Mix between these two, and mix between these two. And I think the determining factor will be this. And this. And that looks pretty cool. And then we can multiply it by the mask. So actually I'm going to change this to be less than. So that will be our hexagonal stuff. Our hexagonal tile. We can go back and like beautify this a little bit later. I have some ideas as to make it like a little bit better, but now we need to work on the triangular ones, which I think will be a little bit harder because we need to like, I don't know, make them mesh between these things easier. So how I think I'm gonna do that, let me think. So alright, I got a plan. So these hexagonal tiles are pretty easy, but we need to get triangular tiles. And we need them to like be centered at the right place, you know? So what I think we can do, because the centers of each of these hexagons form triangles, right? Will that work? I think it might. Nah. Oh, yeah, actually it will. It will. So we need to take... Alright, so we need to make like a different grid. What to do? Alrighty. So I'm going to add this and then I'm going to modulate that. After I do that. Right? No. Yep. This is crazy. Actually, no, I am not going to do that. My bad. So I need to create like a completely separate grid, so I'm just going to work from scratch. So basically what we did here is we created like mini grids or mini like instances of a bigger grid that were centered at the center where we want the shape to be. But we can't do that here, or we can't reuse it necessarily because it's a discontinuous function, right? So we can't really, like, the center of our triangle is around up here, right? And that's where it doesn't work. So we need to like shift the entire grid over, and then we can use our triangle function to like make a thing. And it's also like notable to understand that we gotta bifurcate this even more. Actually, I don't think we have to. No, we don't. We do have to have this part in it though, which is not super fun. That's pretty curious. What's going on there? Here, I'm just gonna... I don't care to really troubleshoot. Alright. So that is that. On top of that though, yeah, there we go. I don't think we need this. I think we can do negative square root of 3 or 4 for that, and then do an absolute. Sort of deal. Let's see, grid here versus here. Here, I'm gonna get rid of that. This is a grid that is shifted over, essentially, from that other grid. But we need it to represent the triangle, so I'm going to use a mix. I'm going to do multiply and let's see. Subtract. All right. Sweet. So now I can see it a little bit easier where we need to make our stuff work. Yeah. Alrighty, so that seems like it's working to some degree. Actually, what if instead, yeah, because these things still aren't matching up completely. I'm gonna do that, but instead I'm gonna ping pong. I don't know if I can do that in here. Wrap, that's like the analogous one. That did not work how I intended it to. Yeah, whatever, it's not really worth it. Separate XYZ. Oh, wait. No. Okay. Alright. My bad. My bad. Separate XYZ. Converter. Combine XYZ. So X can stay how it is because it's matching up with all of them. Y needs a little bit of help. So I'm going to do the math, and then this is where I'm going to do the wrap. Not wrap, sorry, ping pong. And I'm going to do square root of 3 over 4. Sweet. Yeah, there we go. That looks like it's working. At least sort of well. So now we can use this. Do math. Scale. I'm just going to use this to isolate that. So now we can use this to create our tile. Yeah, so how do we do this? So what I think I want to do, because we want it to like curve around, you know, I'm going to make it so that we're going to use like the length of one of these vectors. So oops, sorry, that's the wrong one. Length. So we see the origin is in the middle there, but we don't want that. We want it to be at one of the corners. So I need to subtract a little bit from that. So looks like 0.25. Yep, that works. There we go. Then same sort of deal right here. Copy that. Yeah, I think that works pretty well. It's certainly interesting. Yeah, let me put that back there. I think we're gonna need, yeah, this is gonna need to be less than 0.5. All right. Am I being silly there, or is this? Let's see. Let me see what is going on here. Oh, I forgot we have to like shift it a little bit over. Yeah, we have to subtract 0.25. There we go. All right, now it's actually kind of matching up, which is neat. Not obviously over there, but we will get to that. But it is starting to look continuous, which is pretty sweet. All right, now what to do with the other shit? I hope there's a good solution. It would be rather unfortunate if I walled myself into a corner because of this. Oh, I did kind of, but not really. Okay. I'm gonna just change this all down. Yeah, that's better. Way better. Okay, yeah, that gives us a lot more opportunity. So this thing is fine. Then we need to sort of configure this portion to be a little bit nicer. so there we go. We've just limited this portion so that we have a little bit more room to work with. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of redo this thing on a different corner, or on both of these other corners. So we need to take this. And then I think we can just add, yeah. All right, and then again, subtract, this can be 0. And then square root of 3 over 4. Yep. Let's evaluate what, let's add them all together. Or, sorry, mix them. Oops. I've never used the light fall off node. Like, literally never. Alright, so now it's just a matter of mixing them in the proper way. And by the way, let's just add all of these back in so that we can sort of see what's going on. That's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. Certainly we can see how they all connect. It's just a matter of what to do about it. So for this, we want one of these to be stronger than the others. So let's look at our masks. So I'm going to use this for one of them. Oops. And then for this other one, I'm going to use separate RGB, or separate XYZ, sorry. And then use this like a greater than 0 thing to mix them together. Did I do something wrong? I certainly might have. What did I do wrong? Oh. I'm a little bit stupid. I think I probably used wrong one. All right. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, so this is good. What does this one look like? Okay, so I'm going to use this to mix these two. Then I'm going to duplicate this, and then we're going to use something else to mix these two. And that will be this. Sweet. It's a little bit overlapping there. I think we can, if we just 425 maybe. 0.42. There we go. Now that is looking a lot better. Let's see what that looks like in the context of this. Sick. I wonder if we push these all back, if that would still work. Yep, looks like it. Sweet. So, yay, Truchet tiling. Yeehaw, motherfuckers. Yeah, part of the beauty of this, though, is that you can, if you find out a way to rotate these things, like they're all tileable at every orientation. So you can make pseudo-random patterns. So let's do that. Yeah, let's do that. So for this one, it's pretty easy because we can literally just multiply, because the center is already in the middle. That's like kind of a given. Well, it is a given. It's, again, like pops right out of the definition. So I'm going to move this back, and I'm going to use, let's see, what do I want to do? So I'm going to get a white noise, but I want it to, okay. So I'm going to use, oops, I'm going to use vector math. I'm going to subtract this from that. There we go. The reason we can do that is because they have the same gradient everywhere, even though there are parts at which it's not differentiable. So it'll create some fun stuff. What is going on here? White noise texture. You know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to, because white noise is sometimes unpredictable. So I'm just going to grab a Voronoi texture. And just use, yeah, cells, because that's a lot more efficient. Separate XYZ. Obviously, you can't have the scale too small, but you can obviously, like if you scale it up a lot, it'll be a lot nicer for you. Just gonna do like 250. And then, I'm going to use the floor function, or more accurately, I'm going to multiply this by 3, and then use that floor function. And this will be the rotation. And then, so I'm going to multiply that by pi over 3. Right? That seems reasonable. Actually, I'm going to do 6 and then multiply that by pi over 6. And then that will be plugged into the vector rotate node. Alright, let's see if this works. Oh, do I need to multiply this by 2? Yeah, there we go. Alright, let's see this tiling now. That is pretty neat. That is pretty neat. Okay. Now let's do the same thing over here, which I expect will be slightly more tricky. Yeah, slightly more tricky. first thing we need to do is we need to center these coordinates. So essentially just subtracting stuff and then adding it back. So we're going to subtract a third of the height of the triangle from here. So that's going to be square root of 3 over 12, I think, right? Yeah. And then we can add that back in over there. And everything over here can remain unchanged. But now we need to rotate shit. So let's do a vector rotate. And same sort of deal as last time, except we need to find a we need to do it with our new coordinate system, which I am going to create right now. So I'm going to use another modulo. Where the fuck is it? There. So 1 square root of 3 over 4. And let's see, does that create a new cell for each one of these? Yes, it does. All right, and then we're going to subtract the UVs from this, or the other way around. It really doesn't matter. And one's just going to be the negative of the other, or the opposite of the other. And then yeehaw, motherfuckers. We don't need to multiply this by 6. We just need 3. And make that bigger. And there we go. Ain't that neat? So that's going to get plugged into there. Yeah, it's already like it's like a little Truchet tiling itself, even though it's not, I didn't even really intend for that, but that's certainly pretty cool. Yeah, for sure. So there we go. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to add some depth to this, I think. Yeah, I think I'm going to add a little bit of depth. It's like 3 layers deep, so I don't really know how that's going to work. Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it. It looks cool enough. Yeah, it's pretty neat. I could maybe like make it into like a displacement sort of thing. Vector displacement. Yeah, so for instance, I know you can do it with like add height when there's only like 2 levels, but because there's 3 in this one, it's harder. Yeah, it's technically possible. I'll see if I can do something with that. I know it is possible. What was I trying to do? Let's do just fucking principal BSDF. Make it metallic. Yeehaw. Add a subdivision. Simple. Experimental. I'm surprised this shit's still in experimental. It's been that way for 3 years. 3 years. 3 years. At least. Ever since what was it, like 2.78 or 2.79 came out with it? Like, I remember fucking watching Gleb Alexandrov tutorials about it. Oh shit, that's way too strong. Yeah, I remember watching like fucking Gleb Alexandrov tutorials about micro polygon displacement and all that shit. And back then it was experimental, and it's still experimental now, which is the craziest thing ever. Certainly this is a hell of a project. It's pretty neat. You could go nuts with like parallax and stuff on this. Yeah, I think I'm gonna make this like multi-leveled. Well, I'm at least gonna experiment around with it. I mean, it can't hurt, right? So I have no idea how I'm going to do this. I mean, let me rephrase that. I have an idea of how I'm going to do this. I just have no idea how I'm going to implement it quite yet. So because this is broken up into tiles, and each tile has like a each tile has a basically like it's the same thing. We can collect outputs for these tiles to figure out which one's like on the bottom. So I'm going to duplicate these mix nodes. And I'm going to, instead of mixing certain of those things, I'm just going to use those factor inputs, and then I'm going to add in values for the rest. So one of these is going to be 0, one of these is going to be 0.5, and one of those is going to be 1. Then I'm just going to, to preview that, I'm going to multiply this by that. Okay. Actually, I'm just going to do 1/3, 2/3, and 1. That'll give us enough of a perspective. So here's where the challenge arises, because when we go to add these things together, like I want you to take a look at this, right? It's always like it's going like essentially this triangle one has to go from 1/3 to 2/3, right? It has to do that smoothly. And it also has to read the shit from over there, like on that side. So with 2 levels, it's really easy because like the triangle will always take like one thing to another. But it's a little bit harder with 3 levels. I guess what we could do is triangle is always 2/3. Yeah, that's a lot simpler, even though it won't look as good. Triangle will always be 2/3, and then we just interpolate whatever we get to 2/3. when we're reaching the edge. Yeah, that's the best way to do it. So just gonna scale that by 2/3. Or no, not going to deal with that. We'll just use this and then we'll enhance it a little bit later. How about that? Okay. So let's gather X right here. That's that. And then Y is perpendicular to that. Right. So we're going to make a, let's do absolute. Shit. Where is absolute? Fuck. And then this will be subtract 0.5 minus that. And then this will be used to so I'm gonna just kill this thing real quick, and then we'll do that. We'll deal with that stuff later. I think we need to do 0.4, maybe. Oh, this is kind of weird. Yeah, there you go. There we go. That's a lot better. Alright, now I just need to replicate that for all the others, and we will be golden. Alright, sick. Now we have something that actually works. Now I have to do a little bit of stuff for this because we want to like sort of even out like 0.5, right? So I think I'm going to change this to a mix. Oops. Color, mix RGB. And then I'm going to duplicate this multiply, and we're going to multiply the output of this mix by yeah, so this is just basically going to be our discriminant. And then we'll have two values. One's going to be 0.5. And the other is going to be whatever we set it to. So in this case, it's going to be 1. Ooh, forgot I have to mix it instead. There we go. And I wonder if I can do, if I want to do something like a color ramp in there. Just to like ease it a little bit, you know? Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. Yeah. Now I just have to organize this a little bit. Luckily we only have to do this for 2 of them because the middle one's not going to be, the middle one is just going to be 0.5 all around. Actually, I think we decided 2/3 instead, right? Yeah. It's only the bottom one that we really need to do anything with. So I'm just going to copy this. Give us a little more room. And then I'm going to do 1/3. Alrighty. Shit, what's going on here? That's pretty peculiar, if I do say so myself. I might have done something weird. Regardless. Absolute, subtract, absolute, absolute, subtract, absolute, subtract. Oh, isn't that a bit of a goof? Regardless. Still works, it seems. So that's all good. And then I'm just going to multiply this one by 0.667 or 2/3, because that's what it is. It's the middle one. It's the middle child. It doesn't experience any change. Take that how you will. That's a bit of an odd quote. Alright. Oh, you don't need that. I guess this is probably that one. And this should probably be that one. Sweet. Let's add a little bit of bump to the these triangle things. Just a little bit in the middle. So we can do, if we take whichever one is the weird one. What is it? Okay. So I think it's this one, right? Yep. So we can take separate XYZ. Actually, we've already got one. I don't see a reason to do it. If you use a math and then do arctangent, arctan2 in particular, we can get a lot of fun stuff. What the hell's going on? Oh, it's just being weird. Yeah, so if we need to ping pong this, so I'm gonna ping pong it. Pi over 6. Yeah, that gives us roughly what we want. And then if we just multiply it by this, we can sort of see what it does. Actually, we'd probably be better off. Yeah, here we go. Let me add pi over 6. Yep. And then I'm gonna add 1. Then divide by 0.52 times 2. Yeah, and that's just going to add a little bit of like variation, you know. Well, if we displace it again, it's going to look like shit's actually like going over and under itself, which is always kind of neat. Maybe if we like actually cared a little bit more, we could like actually make it continuous, I guess, more continuous. Oh, I forgot. We probably have to yeah, we should really do that. Color ramp, ease. Yeah, so everything here is just for like aesthetic purposes. And so I'm going to multiply this by the length that we got here. Yeah, that seems about right. We probably don't need this then. Let's try this out. Yeah, that seems a little bit better. Let's always yeah. Let's check what this looks like. So this is obviously very flat. That's pretty fun. Isn't that cool? Let's make it like pretty subtle. Yep. Yeah, that's pretty fun. I'm just gonna call this Truchet 1. I'm gonna duplicate this and just call it Truchet 2. I want to see if I can make this like continuous. Yeah, so like there's no like breaks. So let's start with the hex tiles. It's all controlled in the less thans. If I make this like less than 0.2, oops. Yeah, let me get the top one first. That way we can see about that. I think we can go 0.225. 1.25. See if we're cutting anything off. 0.225 is. Actually, I'm just going to do 0.23. 0.23 seems to work. Alrighty. Next, let's do the middle one. Let's change this to 0.23. And then the bottom one. 0.23. Oops. Okay. So that's that. Did that just change everything? No. We need to do something similar with our thing. Yeah, back to 0.4. There we go. Continuous. And let's see it with displacement. Let's do another render. That's pretty fun. Alrighty. I wonder if I know this is going very long, and you guys probably aren't even interested. But I think it would be pretty cool if we could, like, I don't know, make this like fractal-ish. maybe? You know what? Nah, it's fine. We've done enough. I know I've done fractal stuff before with this. It's actually pretty easy. Not like full fractal, but like iterating like smaller ones so that you can break it up a little bit. It's pretty cool. But I think I'm gonna just leave it here. What if I set the opacity to be let me see. Math greater than 0. And put that into the alpha. Let's try this. I don't know what we're gonna get. It might look pretty cool. That's pretty sweet. I mean, really, though, what we could do is instead of that, we can just change, what is it? Texture, or no, sorry, we want texture coordinate, and then converter, separate x, y, or z, and we want normal, and we can say if the z normal is less than like 0.9, we can make it transparent. So greater than 0.9. Let's try this. Oh. I might have just broken something. Oh, sorry, that was the wrong one. Really, huh? It's kind of neat. Yeah, man. I mean, it's kind of a useless experiment at the end of the day, but you know what? It looked cool and it was certainly fun. It looks kind of like noise. I'm gonna change subdivision so it looks like that at viewport level. Yeah, that way it's a little bit easier to see. You could do fun stuff with like parallax and shit. With this, I think that would be pretty neat. Yeah, isn't that cool? Alright, I'm going to call it for today. I will see you guys sometime soon. This is a little bit of an odd tutorial, but you know what? It is what it is, man. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Have a good one.